topic is the bank holiday of 1933. The bank holiday, also known as the Emergency Banking Act of 1933, was when President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, immediately following his inauguration, set out to rebuild the confidence in the nation's banking system, first declaring a 4-day banking holiday that shut down the entire banking system, including the Federal Reserve. During the 1930s, depositing money into an account at a bank carried a degree of risk. If your bank happened to make poor investment decisions with your money, and was forced to close, you would have to withdraw your money fairly quickly, or you would pretty much be out of luck and lose everything you deposited. It was sometimes rumors that led people to believe banks were about to close, and when people heard this, it caused great panic, causing people to stop whatever they were doing and run to the bank to withdraw their money. These runs were widespread throughout the early days of the Great Depression, especially during the stock market crash in 1929. In 1929 alone, 659 banks closed, and by 1932, an additional 5,000 banks closed their doors. People were losing their life savings overnight, and there was absolutely nothing they could do about it. It is unclear as to who the blame should be put on for this tragic series of events, but it is due to a series of poor decisions made by people who only had other people's money to lose and the terrible economy. In 1933, bank closings began to increase yet again, and when FDR was elected president, his first goal was to fix this. Just 2 days after taking office, FDR declared a bank holiday from March 6 to March 10. During this bank holiday, all banking transactions were suspended throughout the nation, with the exception of making change. During this 4-day time period, President Roosevelt presented Congress with the Emergency Banking Act. This law empowered the President, through the approval of the Treasury Department, to reopen all banks that were deemed solvent and assist banks that were not. After a quick debate, the House passed the law unanimously, and the Senate soon followed with support. Some important people that took part in the bank holiday were FDR, obviously, as well as Henry T. Rainey, who was the Speaker of the House during FDR's 100 days and passed the Emergency Banking Act with little to no changes. Rainey unfortunately died shortly after this event due to a heart attack. Another man worthy of note is John Nance Garner, who was Vice President to FDR during the New Deal and contributed a great deal to the bank holiday in quickly passing it through the Senate. And how could we forget the famous Sidney J. Weinberg, the CEO of Goldman Sachs? During the New Deal, he was assigned by FDR himself to assemble a group of corporate executives called the Business Advisory and Planning Council to serve as a bridge between the government and the private sector during the economic upheaval of the New Deal. FDR promoted Weinberg and his group as the top investment bank on Wall Street, a bank that people could trust. Weinberg handpicked executives with whom he wanted to develop business relationships with, and deliberately invited no other investment bankers to join the council. Roosevelt admired Weinberg's work greatly, nicknaming him the politician. This was the perfect platform for Weinberg to make millions, which he did later on. Thanks to what FDR did, our deposits are now insured under the FDIC, or Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Up to $250,000 per depositor per insured bank for each account. So folks, keep your deposit below $250,000 per account, and there is no need to run any banks. You are fully insured. The bank holiday was a drastic but necessary action in response to the situation. FDR will forever go down in the history books as the man who put Wall Street on pause. That's all there is to know about the bank holiday. Click this link to learn more about 1930s politics, social topics, economics, or the arts. Enjoy. My bad. Is that good?